The immigration officer's eyes narrowed as he stared at Eliza Manalo's passport. His fingers tapped the counter, each beat like thunder in her ears. "Step aside, please," he said, his voice cold as winter. Around them, JFK International Airport buzzed with activity. Families reunited. Business people rushed. But for Eliza, time froze. Her heart pounded in her chest like a trapped bird as she clutched her documents tighter. Just hours ago, she had been saying goodbye to her family in Iloilo. Her mother had pressed a small wooden cross into her palm, tears streaming down her weathered face. "Remember who you are," she'd whispered. "Remember where you come from." At 30 years old, Eliza had overcome more than most do in a lifetime. Growing up in a rural barangay, she studied by candlelight during brownouts, worked odd jobs to pay her way through nursing school, and had cared for her ailing father with both modern medicine and the traditional healing wisdom passed down by her grandmother. It was those skills that caught the attention of Crescent Health in New York. Their geriatric unit needed someone like her, someone who could fuse scientific knowledge with deep-rooted compassion. "Ma'am, come with me," the officer said. He was already walking toward a side door, not waiting for a reply. Eliza straightened her shoulders. She had flown 8,000 miles to help people. Her papers were in order. She had nothing to hide. Other travelers watched as she was led away. Some avoided her eyes. Others stared, faces a mix of curiosity and sympathy. "Is there a problem with my documents?" she asked, keeping her voice steady despite the fear roiling in her stomach. "We just need to verify a few things," the officer said without turning around. Eliza gripped the small wooden cross. Its smooth surface comforted her. Everything she had worked for, every late-night shift, every sacrifice her family made, it all hinged on this moment. Through the window, she caught a glimpse of Manhattan. Somewhere out there, Dr. Marissa Blake was expecting her. Patients needed her. But Eliza had no idea the next 24 hours would test not just her credentials, but her identity. The officer opened a heavy door and gestured for her to enter a small room. "Wait here," he said, closing the door behind her. She placed her suitcase at her feet and sat tall, just as her mother taught her. "Sit like you belong," she'd say. Outside the door, Officer Ethan Cole pulled her file, determined to prove something was amiss. The door swung open. Cole entered and dropped a thick folder on the table. "Ms. Manalo," he said without looking up, "you claim to be a specialized nurse?" "Yes, sir," she replied evenly. 7 years in geriatric care with a focus on dementia. "And Crescent Health chose you over hundreds of American nurses?" The question stung, but she didn't flinch. "Dr. Blake recruited me personally. She saw my work at a medical symposium in Singapore. I integrate modern and traditional Filipino methods to treat elderly patients." "Traditional techniques?" Cole repeated with distaste. "We have the most advanced medicine in the world." "Yes, sir. I trained in that, too. But healing isn't just about medicine." She thought of her grandmother's songs, her gentle touch. Wisdom passed down over generations. Cole held up her license. "Alternative pain management?" "Explain." "I help reduce pain using methods that don't rely on medication. Dementia patients can react poorly to drugs. I use touch therapy, guided imagery, and specific movements." "Sounds like pseudoscience." Eliza remained calm. "The hospital I worked at in Iloilo published a 2-year study. Patients needed 40% less medication, had better mobility, fewer episodes of confusion. The findings were published internationally." Cole seemed momentarily taken aback. "Then, let's talk about your visa. It was sponsored by Dr. Blake." "Everything is in order." Cole's phone buzzed. He stood abruptly. "Wait here. May I notify the hospital?" "No calls until we verify." The door clicked shut. Eliza checked her watch. 3 hours had passed. Her shift started in less than 24. She thought of her mother, her sister in college, her father needing medication, of Dr. Blake who believed in her. She sat upright. "I am Eliza Manalo," she whispered. "I am a nurse. I am Filipina, and I belong here." Time crawled. Cole returned, this time with an older officer. "Ms. Manalo," the older man began, "you're claiming special nursing skills for your visa?" "I'm not claiming. I am a specialist. My skills are real, and patients are waiting." They exchanged glances. Doubt, perhaps, or the beginning of it. More hours passed. Eliza sat still, her posture unwavering. No phone, no food, no idea what came next. Finally, Cole returned with a cup of water. "We've been reviewing your case," he said, fatigue in his eyes. "Something doesn't add up." "What exactly is unclear?" "Your references. Dr. Blake says your techniques are unique." "They are. I developed them over years. They combine physical therapy and cultural practices. He leaned back. Look, I've seen people try to game the system with fake degrees, made-up skills. I'm not desperate to come to America, she said. I was invited. There's a difference. Then why leave your family? Because my father's diabetic. My sister's in school. I can help them, and help patients who are suffering. Wouldn't you cross oceans for your family? Something shifted in his face. Then his radio crackled. He left again. Eliza stood, stretching her back. She was used to long nights. This was nothing new. Cole returned, this time more conflicted. Your hospital noticed your absence. Dr. Blake is sending someone. Until then, you stay here. May I have something to eat? He paused. I'll see what I can do. Do you have elderly family? She asked. His posture stiffened. Why? Because everyone deserves comfort, even when memory fades. He said nothing, but something had reached him. Across the city, Dr. Blake checked the time. Orientation had started. Eliza wasn't there. It wasn't like her. Nurse Anna confirmed Eliza's flight landed the night before. Dr. Blake called again, straight to voicemail. Has anyone heard from her? She asked. No one had. Meanwhile, in the geriatric wing, a patient was in distress. Meds weren't working. Dr. Blake knew exactly why she'd fought to bring Eliza here. She called the airport. After endless transfers, yes, and Eliza Manalo is being held. Her documents are under review. That's unacceptable, she said. She's here to work. Legally. We don't have further details. Dr. Blake canceled her meetings, grabbed Eliza's file, and headed to JFK. By the time she arrived, she went straight to the counter. I'm here about Eliza Manalo, she said, flashing her hospital ID. She's been held without cause. One moment, ma'am. Officer Cole is handling it. Minutes later, Cole arrived. Dr. Blake, he said, guarded. Let's talk, she replied. In a private room, she laid out Eliza's file. She's qualified. Her work is proven. What exactly is the issue? Cole hesitated. It's her methods. They're published. Peer-reviewed. They help patients. That's what matters. Cole sighed. Why not hire locally? Because no one else has what she offers. She doesn't replace American nurses. She enhances our care. He watched a video of Eliza at work. The patient responded. Reached out. Connected. My mother has dementia, Cole admitted. She's in Greenwood. Dr. Blake nodded. We know. We identified her as someone who could benefit. Standard care hasn't helped. She doesn't even know me. Let Eliza try. He nodded. Eliza entered. Calm. Collected. Dr. Blake gestured. Explain your approach. Eliza spoke gently. When memory fails, the body remembers. Touch, scent, music. We reach people through what they still feel. Cole listened. Really listened. Would it help her remember me? Maybe not your name, but she'll know you're safe, and that she matters. He looked away. That's what I want. Weeks later, at Greenwood, Eliza moved through simple exercises with Mrs. Cole. Music played softly. Officer Cole watched from the doorway. His mother hadn't had an episode in weeks. She slept at night. Recognized his hand. Dr. Blake stood beside him. The mind forgets, but the body remembers peace. Later, Cole approached Eliza. You were right. About everything. She smiled. Understanding takes time. The hospital is expanding your program, and I'm helping rewrite the immigration guidelines. She nodded. That matters. My mother called me by name yesterday. First time in months. Names come and go, but she knows your heart. Outside, sun bathed the parking lot. Cole hesitated. My mom was raised by a Filipino nanny, Mrs. Santos. She used to sing to me. Songs I never forgot. Maybe that's why she responds. Memory lives in unexpected places. Back at the hospital, Eliza walked through the now expanded geriatric unit. Her methods were standard now. Her story, once met with suspicion, had become a catalyst for change. In her pocket, she still carried the wooden cross. Her mother's reminder of who she is, and that she belongs.